Hey guys, what is going on? My name is Thornton and welcome back to another video. Today we're taking a look at another budget-friendly gaming mouse, and this one's from Steelseries and it's the Rival 3. If you guys want to see the wireless version of this mouse, I actually recently did a review on that and I'll have that link down in the description below. Stick around though, as always, to hear about the build quality, features, and performance and whether this mouse is going to be right for you. You can find the Rival 3 on either Amazon's or Steelseries website for just $30, which is a really great price point, especially in comparison to other offerings around this same price point. In the packaging itself, it's very simple. It's just a little cardboard box, and besides getting the mouse itself, you have your little rubber cable coiled up on top, which is 6 feet long, then also an instruction pamphlet to help you get started. We'll start off with talking about the weight and build quality of the Rival 3, and this mouse just comes in at 77 grams, which is definitely a really nice weight to have. It's not either like the ultra lightweight, but it's also not heavy. I find it to strike that nice balance because I like a little weight behind my mouse, so I find that it helps me feel like I have more control behind my shot. So overall, the weight's really good for that cheap price point as well. You get a matte black finish on the entire surface of the mouse, which I think it looks nice, just kind of clean and minimal look overall. I found the finish, it's kind of like an ABS keycap if you have one of those or you know what that's like. It's pretty smooth. I found it to be a little bit slippery for my liking, which is pretty normal with any plastic shell on a mouse. I usually end up finding it too slippery. For my liking, that's just my personal thing though, which this can always be fixed with slapping something like lizard grips on the side to help you get that extra grip if you wanted to do that. I would say this is it's on the smaller side. It's a medium mouse, I would say, and I'll go ahead and throw the dimensions up on screen for you guys to see now. For me, with bigger hands, I usually prefer to use a palm or a claw style grip. With this mouse specifically though, it just throws me right into a claw grip, and I can get up into a fingertip grip, but I don't personally like that grip style very much. So those of you with larger hands like myself, you have to like either using a claw or a fingertip style grip if you're gonna be using this mouse. But I would say if you have medium hands, this mouse would feel really good for a palm and into a claw, possibly into a fingertip style grip. The shape is advertised as a right-hand ergonomic grip, but looking at it, it is identical on each side, so I would say it's an ambi shape, but you only get buttons on that left-handed side, so it obviously can't be used for a left-handed user. But overall, it feels really nice. You get a pretty streamlined design down the sides, and then you get these two sort of more aggressive curves towards the back, which really help me lock into that nice grip style, like a claw grip, because it holds on your thumb and pinky really nicely. One of the biggest bummers for this mouse for me is that rubber cable they use. Some people love it though, I just don't personally enjoy it. I find it to be, decently flexible. It's not bad, and it is only a $30 mouse again, so with that money you might be saving on this compared to buying one of those more expensive ones, you could even look into doing something like a paracord on it, which would just really bring it up to that next level too. For switches on this mouse, they are using SteelSeries mechanical switches, which give you a life rating or a life cycle all the way up to 60 million clicks, so a good amount there. So far, I've really been enjoying them. Before we talk any more about them though, I'll go ahead and give you guys a sound test. Like I mentioned before I was testing this one out, I did do a review on the Rival 3 wireless, which is basically completely identical to this besides a few minor details. The clicks though, exactly the same, identical. I really enjoy SteelSeries clicks and their buttons overall. This being the second mouse I've owned from them. Very little pre or post travel on both the left and right click, but still giving you that nice tactile response. Also not much side to side play in them. They feel really nice, solid built into the frame. The side buttons for me, personally, a little small for my liking. I just like bigger, bulkier side buttons, so they're easy to find, but they are raised up enough from the frame where you can still find them easily with your thumb. As always, the side buttons, they're never perfect. There's always gonna be some side-to-side play in them or a little bit of mushiness, but again, $30 for this thing, pretty stinking solid on the buttons overall. The scroll wheel, really nice. I really like SteelSeries scroll wheels. They feel really nice, low profile, not too high up from the clicks, and also pretty smooth rolling. It's not super hard tactile bumps, but you can definitely feel it still. Right below that, you get your DPI button, which is also really low and minimal down. This can allow you just to cycle between your DPI stages, which can be configured in their software. Going on to the bottom of the mouse, you get kind of one bigger wraparound skate towards the rear end of it, and then towards the top, you get two that are split on the left and right of it. So far, providing me consistent glide and nothing abnormal as far as drag goes with it on my mouse pad. For the sensor, they're using the TrueMove core sensor, which gives you a DPI range of all the way down to 100, then all the way up to 8,500, which can be adjusted in stages of 100. So far, really spot on, consistent for me. I have heard one complaint with the sensor on these mice, and it's just the fact of the placement. I'll have some shots of this in the B-roll, but the sensor is more towards the back of the mouse, and some people have said this caused issues for them. I just want to say, from my personal experience, I really cannot tell a difference between this mouse and another mouse where the sensor is more in a central location. So far, absolutely no issues as far as that goes, but I just want to bring that up because I have seen people commenting about the sensor placement. Quickly touching on the lighting and software of the Rival 3 mouse itself, you do get two different really nice lighting zones. I actually really like how the RGB is done on this. You get a lighting zone on their logo on the back, and then kind of this rim light around the bottom of it, which almost goes to the front of the left and right click, but it stops a little bit before it reaches the front there. I really like when mice do this, and I think it's really done well on the SteelSeries Rival 3, kind of creating that cool separation between your playing surface and then the mouse itself. In their software, you can adjust obviously these lightings. You get 3 different lighting zones on there, and then you can apply different colors or effects to them and adjust them accordingly depending on what you choose. You can also adjust things like your DPI, your polling rate, remap your buttons, acceleration, deceleration, so about what you'd expect to normally find in the software. And so far, I like SteelSeries software. I find it simple and easy to use. Overall, I am super happy with this, and I really do think it's a bargain of a price what they're asking for it, just $30. I've tested some other mice out around the same price point, and I can say that this really does blow them out of the water as far as build quality, performance, and then just features on it itself. Again, this is going to be really good for those of you that either with bigger hands like myself, either like using a claw or fingertip grip, and then if you have a little bit smaller hands, I would say this is going to feel really nice for a palm or a claw grip. Again, the one downside to me is just that rubber cable. Again, that might not be an issue for you. Some people like rubber cable, it's just not my thing. And then it only costs $30, so with that cheaper price point, you might be able to look into doing some more aftermarket modding on the mouse itself anyways in the first place. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you found the video helpful or informative, please do hit that like button for me and do consider subscribing for more content just like this in the very near future. If you have any questions about the mouse or my experience with it, definitely leave that in the comments down below, and I'll try my best to get back to you guys as soon as possible. And I'll see you guys in the next one.